Good evening. I was talking to one of the former mayors, Saul. Anybody know Saul's last name?
Yes.
Thank you. Y'all know Saul. From the 1960s, he was the mayor here, and he told me he began or ended every council meeting with this scripture. Unless the Lord builds the house, its builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the watchmen stand guard in vain. You, men and women, are our watchmen, and you guard our city and care for it. Let us pray. Wonderful and gracious God, we pause for a moment to remember those soldiers in Iraq who have are under attack, and we pray that you be with them this evening. We pray, God, for peace in our world. We thank you for this council and all that it does for our community. We pray that you be with them, guide them, direct them as they watch over this town. Be with our police and fire fighters who care for this town, and be with all who are gathered here this evening. We pray this in the name of our Creator and friend. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, in your packet, you had the approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
Motion to approve. Second that one.
Well, hang on. But in here, you would have gotten, there was an amendment that needs to be made. And so we need approval to the minutes of the one that you received.
Motion. Second.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
There we go. All right, committee reports. James.
Good evening. I just got two things. First, last month we finished our Christmas lighting contest, and we just got a lot of positive feedback all through town, and we got a lot of calls that said, and we just noticed that a lot more people decorated this year, and it looked more festive, and I think that was kind of what I observed too, whether they participated or not.
Looked really good.
I thought it looked great. And so we had about 30 homes participate in the contest, and we were able to give 6 of those a electricity credit with CLGW. So thanks to CLGW for sponsoring that, and I think it was a good thing.
I do too.
And then the second thing I have is a Kennett restaurant earned a nod in one of our tourism magazines. This is Missouri Life magazine. It's one of the state tourism magazines, and Lupita's Mexican Restaurant earned a feature this month in the January-February 2020 issue. And they're also on in their table of contents after Lupita's picture. And then all of page 12 is a story specifically about Lupita's and Kennett. So that's
awesome.
Really neat thing to have a Kennett restaurant featured, and it mentioned our ribbon cutting that we did with them in July. So we were proud that Kennett got a nod, and in a full article that was their choice of dining for this month for the whole state of Missouri. So that's a great thing. So free advertising for Kennett and great for Lucas.
Yep.
All right, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, finance.
I don't have anything tonight. We'll set up a finance meeting next week, go over the 6 months.
Okay, great. Fire.
He's not here.
He's not here, so human resources.
Nothing for the public at this time.
All right, you may.
We will, next week, we're going to be meeting very soon, and then we'll have something for the public.
Okay. All right, police.
The only thing that I have is we need to renew our Novatech contract. Do I need to bring that up here? And actually, we're going to add 500 sheets, and it's going to go up $4. So it's going to be $122 or $126.96 a month. And that's in the form of a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
That's the only thing I have on the police. Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Okay. Then street?
We got 4 bids on the construction of the building. We had one that was from a local local guy that came in at 58,000, which was a lot cheaper than what we anticipated. So we're gonna take 30, well, that's the bid.
What was the other two? 58 was the lowest?
58 was the lowest, we had one, sorry, 75,000, 62,000, and 62,000.
Okay.
And
What was the estimate that we had?
second,
What was the estimate for the construction that we were budgeting for?
what did we expect?
It's budgeted for 65,000.
So it came in lower?
Yeah, it came in low.
Yeah, and but that's not counting the electric and heat.
Electric
That's
and
for the building alone, with doors, electric openers, concrete and everything. We also budgeted $7,000 for electric and heat, and we hope it comes in way less than that.
Okay.
We went high to be
So
sure we got
need
it
a
covered.
number.
Right.
So we're gonna take 32.5 from transportation and 32.5 from stormwater. That'll cover the building, electric and heat.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
All right, Storm?
Like Margaret said, got the building that we're working on. We also want to schedule a stormwater meeting January 14th. So everybody that's on that committee, please be aware.
You want to send us an email on that, Brenda? What time?
Let's do 5:30.
5:30?
You just sent your email.
Industrial.
Nothing, oh, but I do want to have a meeting here before the end of the month with everybody to get a plan of action for the year. See what we need to do and to help Mr. Grieving out. More heads are better than one. I'm trying to figure some of this stuff out. I don't know when I'm gonna get with everybody and try to get a meeting together. That way we can have a good long one and figure it out.
Okay. All right. Department reports. 5.
I have a whole lot this evening, folks. Quick things, next Tuesday, Burma will be in, doing their full inspections and so forth. Tyler's been in contact with Jeff Harp, who has also been down in our area for the last week. He kind of done a preliminary, so do expect your next council meeting that you all will have a full report on his findings and so forth. As well as from the fire side of things, you will have a full year-end report. So I'm going to dazzle you with paperwork the next go around. A little information here also. I received a resignation from one of our full-time firefighter paramedics, Matt Jones. He's having to resign on us, citing insurance issues for his family. So again, this has been brought up by other department heads that we've had issues in the past, keeping good employees based on our family insurance or lack thereof. So by all means, Matt works out of Station 3, so I'd encourage you all to kind of go down there and talk to him. But yeah, it's a bad situation for us. Hate to lose Matt as a full-time, but he is wanting to stay part-time with us, so he will be helping on his days when he's available, doing firefighting and paramedic on our behalf. So, I will need to be able to accept applications for another full-time staffing. So I need from you all authorization to start advertising.
Second.
All in favor?
Do you have any part-time spots open?
We do. Right now, we're going through with issues with our turnout gear in order to get everyone up to requirements. So that's the lack of turnout gear is hampering our avenues of getting part-time people right now.
Are you waiting to get it in or have you bought it?
I haven't bought it yet. And again, we're kind of stressed out. At this time, the existing budget that we had, we're trying to outfit the folks that we have now, make sure that they are in gear that is in full compliance, at which point now we like about 3 sets that we're not going to be able to get done this budget, and it's going to have to wait until July in order for the existing staff. So we
When
have
does
no
it run out of compliance?
The compliance, we've got about 3 more sets that are completely out. So I'm gonna look at my other budget items, other line items to see if I might be able to move some money around in order to get us up to full compliance right now. And again, that's 3 sets.
How much is it?
3 sets, it's gonna run us about at $1,800 a piece. And then I have 10 helmets that again are out of compliance at a price of $350.
Are they being used?
Are they being used?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's not a second set. There are some thoughts out there of getting everyone a second set of gear to have on standby when their other gear is in the wash and so forth. We're not even able to do that right now. We're just trying to get them up to 1 set.
We can probably work it out. We'll look at it next week when we have the finance meeting.
I was gonna say, with that price.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do something.
We'll try to get it to
So if we get that, once we get that, if we can, I will revisit our part-time status. Right now, I do have 10 to 12 applications of folks that would like on part-time. But that's something we'll discuss at a later date.
Good deal.
Thank you. One more quick thing, over the past holiday weeks, we have experienced, we had 3 structure fires. 1 displaced a family, and 2 others were vacant homes. We had a fire on Christmas Eve, extensive structure fire that required mutual aid from another existing city, just because of the size of the structure. Had another fire New Year's Day, suspicious in nature, and again this morning we had one that was suspicious in nature. Now I've already had some name calling because of this, but I kind of brought a show and tell here, so. And you know who this is, we're referring to out there, so. But just to let you know, which many of you all are aware of the dangers that we face. The fire this morning, again, suspicious in nature. The guys were not doing anything. We had already discovered that it was a vacant residence. We had already made the discussion that no interior attack, non-aggressive. So they were protecting another home that was occupied by a family. And during that fire attack, a power line fell from their home and come across the fire hose that 3 gentlemen had. Luckily, when it happened, the line itself where it was arcing did not touch this hose. The guys recognized what was going on. Command recognized it, put out an alert, and they immediately dropped the hose. So as the power line come across the fire hose, this is what happened.
So that's not an insulated hose?
Right, it's not. So again, a couple things, just to kind of reiterate some of the dangers that we face on firefighting, but another thing, this was a vacant home that caught fire. So if for whatever reason we could find that individual, if there was an individual involved that intentionally set that fire, he almost left approximately 8 kids without a father today. And we were very, very lucky. So, all right, thank you all.
So I guess you need a new hose too?
I was expecting that from Steve.
We'll cover that next week as well.
For December, we took in a total of 33 dogs, returned 9 to the owners, euthanized 9, adopted out 1 locally, which is a big deal. We never adopt out locally. Transferred 27 to rescue, and we rolled over to January 16, and as of today, we have 33 out of the humane department already that we will transport this weekend with several later. So, and we also had a big donation from Mr. Tom McNutt over the holidays. And
Who did?
Tom McNutt.
Okay.
He donated 1,000 pounds of dog food and then a $5,000 donation to vet care at Dr. Mobley's, which will cover a lot of vetting. And then we also had the Presbyterian Church that donated $600 just recently, which will go in our fund and use it for whatever is needed for the dogs that the city can pay for. So, and we've had a lot of other people throughout the Christmas season donate dog food and different items for the dogs, so we've been really blessed as far as that goes.
Good.
And all of our, end of the year report, I'll have it next time for you guys.
Sounds great.
Any questions?
Well, Kate, we need to shed some light on the problem we're having out there about people dropping stuff off.
Yeah, stuff as in animals.
Sorry.
No. We are having a problem with it. It's twofold for me because we have to set standards and boundaries that people just can't bring animals to the humane department after hours and think that, well, I didn't know what else to do. Well, then why didn't you come when they were open? But then there's another part of me that says I'd rather have them there than out in the ditch.
Yeah.
However, as far as the pound goes, we have to come up with a way to stop this. The camera has helped them a lot, and Tina was able to get on that immediately and find out who it was. And but what we need to do now is come up with a sign, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about in the meeting. But it says, there are cameras here. You may not drop off animals.
Yeah,
You will be prosecuted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's there for them to, in case they need that little reminder that they shouldn't do that. And someone said, well, what can we do? That's something as far as the city of Kennett, we're gonna have to come up with. But as far as the person who had those 2 kittens, they could have called Carruthersville Humane Society.
They weren't actually Kennett residents.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but that's, you guys get the brunt of all the towns around.
We do have a rescue in St. Louis that's going to go and take them, since
Right.
we don't house cats, and we definitely don't want to be out with cats.
So,
To put them back.
right now, there's no signage that says, don't drop stuff here after hours, right, anywhere? And then possibly need a number on the sign for Crowsville and all these other places that take cats.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
But
think,
they're, I mean.
it doesn't matter if they're full, they can call them, that's all I'm
You
saying.
can call them, but I mean, the cat problem is.
The cat problem's out of control.
It's
And
everywhere.
people even that have their own cats and let them outside and they're not neutered, they're a huge part, because then the feral cats start. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. We're gonna be talking about a trap, neuter, and release program that you and I have talked about a little bit, Marco and I have a little bit. Because we have, it's gonna be baby steps no matter what we do, but we've gotta start somewhere, because you all are handling, I mean, if you get rid of 1,000 dogs a year, that is helping those dogs, and that is helping this city. Cats are completely different. You've explained to me that even if you bring in a cat for a neuter, you've trapped it, you have to check it for feline leukemia before you can do anything. You can't put it with other cats because they can catch it. So there's a lot of things that I know that much about, and we're going to have to become a little bit more aware, because we need to handle this as ethically as we can. I don't want people just dumping cats and killing cats, and just because we were saying, well, you won't let us do anything else. The responsibility is with the people, and then I think we have some responsibility to see what we can do.
I think during the public portion, we'll be having another group that'll be up there
Yeah.
talking about that as well, so. Yeah. So,
And what are the consequences of dropping cats off out there? I mean, what would happen
The
if,
animal is abandonment, correct?
Yes.
yeah. And they made Channel 12 News this morning.
And
And they-
I always,
It's a city ordinance violation. And we've heard it before.
and I always clarify with Mr. McVeigh before I post anything, that in regards to that. So, at the video, everything is clear for him. And if he says don't do it, then we're just gonna do it.
What was posted yesterday, Tina sent it to me first.
and so what kind of fine is for dropping animals off out there?
Up to $500.
How much?
500.
What else? Any kind of misdemeanor?
Well, it's an ordinance violation.
So that's it, it's an ordinance violation.
Yeah.
Sounds like we just need to get a big sign
And put that
Put the
number up
stuff-
there too.
Yeah, because people think, oh, maybe I don't
This
need
stuff
to
can
drive.
happen to you if you do it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no, you know, just because the camera there, they don't
Right.
We've had them look
show
right
that
at
there's a
it.
warning.
Oh, yeah.
Last summer, we had, two teenagers that with their dogs, and they literally looked at one camera and one looked at the other one.
And still did it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was-
and, I mean, they probably didn't know there's consequences
Right,
for dropping them off
exactly.
out there. And that's the reason I asked, because I didn't know there was a $500 fine. for
I didn't
doing it.
either.
I mean, I don't do it, but.
Right.
Well, no, but I think that when you drop an animal off after hours,
Oh, no.
you know there's something wrong. You may not know
I'm
it's
not saying it's right.
$500.
I'm just, yeah, I mean, that fine number was on that sign.
Yeah, we'll
Probably,
do-
you
And I
know,
also
turned a lot of
say
people away.
Those cats were
Yeah,
asked for from the Facebook, like on Facebook,
yeah,
and they had only had those cats a few days.
yeah, they
after
didn't
got
just
from them.
walk up to their house.
They didn't just
Can,
get dumped on themselves. They actually got them and then decided they didn't want them, so they dumped them on us.
so can you get a sign, or can the street department make them a sign?
I was gonna say, if y'all can get what size and what
Okay.
you want on it, let me know, I can get a price for you.
Thank you.
I
can talk
told
to
her
get it
today
made.
that I try to sweet talk you all the time.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Thank you.
Just get what you want on it.
Okay.
How big a sign, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, you and I will get together and decide.
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thanks a whole lot.
so what's gonna happen, ordinance violation, that's not, that's it.
And it's $500 fine.
Does that go to the humane department, or does that go to the city?
Where does that money go?
General revenue, where all the fine money goes.
Okay.
I think a donation to the humane department.
General
You'll buy a
revenue.
new fire hose.
That's by statute. Anything that comes in city court goes to general revenue.
Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Police department. Should we start off with a little bit of question and then go on to the rest of yours?
Hopefully this won't take you real long.
Okay.
First thing in your packets there in front of you, you have our crime report for the year 2019. Just kind of brief rundown on it. Arrested people, 2,304 individuals were arrested by the Kent Police Department in 2019. Warrants served 358, DWIRS 65, narcotics or possession of controlled substance 89, and all other 1,792 individuals were charged or arrested on different crimes. Cost of service was 16,410 calls were handled through the Kent Police Department. Traffic stops 2,989, 355 accidents. Alarm calls were 444, 222 burglaries. Assaults or disturbances 823, shoplifting cases or stealing cases 890, property damage 273, and the citizen assist was 10,414 calls for citizen assist. Now this does include the fire department responding to someone who may have fallen, check the well-being, different things like this. Also, some of the alarm calls or fire calls too. So they're all dispatched through our 911 center and the officers handling the calls. So, and plus fire department. That, if you have any questions about this report, I'll be glad to answer them to the best of my ability. I'm good. Okay. All right. Next thing is, you want to go ahead and
Yeah, it's, next thing within the police department and the city as well. We all know that the Honorable Judge Mauer will be retiring soon. And also, April will be leaving, February 2nd or something like that. Under Judge's, suggestion, started looking into, city court being moved to state court. I've got a meeting on Thursday at 10 o'clock with Judge Mayer to see what that's going to happen up through there. I've also had a meeting with Judge John Spielman on what it will entail for him as well. Trying to get the lay of the land, this process is not 3 to 6 months.
6 months is the cutoff,
Cut off there.
and you have, Judge Mayer would have to make it shorter.
Okay, and so, one of the aspects that Chief is gonna be bringing up here is to make a few things a little quicker within the police department is going to be possibly e-tickets. It's something they're going to have to go to eventually anyway. But for, discussion topic tonight, we can start the discussion on, is this something we really want to look into? To me, it looks like a win-win situation that, court costs will go up a couple dollars, but then it's state tickets, state collects the funds, state sends us the revenue off of it.
Still city tickets.
Still city tickets.
It's still city tickets, city violations. It's city court. It's city court being handled by a state judge.
Okay.
But it's still city tickets, the fine money, the revenue goes to the city.
And but there is within next year's budget, there'll be $107,000 that is budgeted for the court system now that can be hopefully used in a few other areas. And one of the areas that Chief and I discussed was the possibility of going with tough books and data processing within the different vehicles. But this is all on topics, but he's got a little bit more information on what it could be used for.
Okay. If we go to the computers in the cars, obviously we can do the e-tickets, which will make it easier for the officers to do that, cut down their time they're spending on the traffic stop. And I think our officers will become more proactive because this part will actually be easier for them to do. Also, we can put mules in the cars, which is basically the state computer system where officers can run car license plates, they can run somebody's driver's license right there on the spot and check the valid. All they'll be able to do is inquire, so that's it. The cost for the mules licensing is right around, it's just shade under $900 a year. So that's not just real expensive for them to have mules in the car. The initial cost of putting the computers in the cars is going to be pricey. Not as bad as what I think some of them were saying in the police community meeting. We're looking 35, maybe 40 will be the high end of putting computers in all the cars.
And hopefully we can use the money from the court system to pay for that initially.
Is that $900 per car or total?
Total.
Total. Hope it's not 40 a car, that'd be tough.
No, the 900.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looking around $50,000 a year for it all.
Okay.
A little
But
under.
the initial cost, now to keep it every year, it's not gonna be that much.
Okay.
It'll be maintenance fees. Another advantage would be the officers can actually do reports in their cars. If we choose to put the record management system in there, it helps. If we do that, our Russian profiling reports can be done automatically right there while they're in the car. Doesn't have to go back to the PD and do those reports, and it'll help track that better. Tracking the tickets for the prosecutor's office will be a lot easier. They'll be going directly to Terry, and nothing's going to change there. He's still going to prosecute all those. I think overall, for the officers, I think it's a very good benefit. I think it'll be a good benefit for the city.
And sooner or later, we're going to have to go to all this city.
Yeah, sooner or
Are
later,
we going to be getting
the state.
100% of the collected money or a percentage?
So we get all the fine revenue.
So it's not costing us anything?
Court cost goes up.
The court cost goes up?
Court costs, yeah, whatever's collected court costs is the state's, because they're the ones.
Court costs go to $15 and they stay with the state.
Okay.
But the revenue comes to the city. Because basically, it's just, you're still having city court. It's just being processed out of Justice Center with an associate circuit judge.
Okay.
And the associate circuit judge will be sitting as a municipal judge.
I'll try to have all the costs for the computers at the next council meeting, what kind of money you're looking at.
Okay.
There is some sense of urgency with April leaving, that we need to implement this. I don't know if there's gonna be any grace period with the state court for us still doing handwritten tickets or not. I don't know. There's not any. Okay. So,
We probably have time problems. You're probably right, but it's a full 6-month process and not likely to be shortened, except maybe in little bits.
okay. So there will be a sense of urgency in getting it switched over to the e-tickets. Yeah, I'll try to have all that at the next council meeting.
And we're gonna have to set up, I'm gonna have to get my portal set up so that the tickets will come directly to me, and instead of, me signing the tickets and sending them over to a court clerk to file, my office would be responsible for filing.
Also, keep in mind, the code enforcement will probably have to, since they're doing tickets and stuff now, we'll have to have computers put in their vehicles too, just so they can do like a non-traffic type ticket that's in the period. So they're bothers.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have, some form of e-ticket that can be electronically sent to me so that I can file it electronically on everything we process in city court. And it shouldn't affect, we're still gonna process the same type of cases.
Yeah.
That part's not gonna change. We're still gonna do assaults, we're still gonna do shoplifting, we're still gonna process the same cases. It's just a different way of processing.
And we are gonna have to do this. I mean, it's coming, like you said, it'll be mandatory by the state, we go to e-ticket.
Does this computer have internet? Like, is it Wi-Fi, or how does it work?
Well,
Yes.
it's like a hotspot in each computer, and then, the printer, they're gonna have a printer in the car, and then basically what you do, you take somebody's driver's license, you can scan it, and it automatically plugs everything in for you, and then you pick the charge that goes with that.
But yeah, there'll be a monthly fee on top of that.
So there'll be an internet fee?
Sure.
Yeah, there's gonna be a data coverage for that, and all that'll be.
But you're gonna get all those totals for it?
Well, and that's the reason I said around $50,000 yearly total, or the first year, to get everything up and going.
And we could very well come in under that, I think we can.
Right.
But just kind of, I'd rather be shooting high, if it comes in cheaper, you got to be happy. So, that's,
It's still half of what we'd be saying.
yeah. Hopefully we'll have more information by next council meeting.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So while we're on the court system, Judge, does anybody have any questions for him?
Be glad to answer any, or try to.
You answered all my questions the other day.
What's the date?
Well, the date that trigger starts when the city formally notifies Judge Mayor that you all have voted to do that. So that starts the 6-month period by the statute.
Okay.
When are you wanting to retire?
I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I have a choice, but the state law requires me to retire at age 75,
Okay,
and that's May 25 of this year.
okay.
Check a birth certificate and it's confirmed.
So do we need to vote on that, yes or no or not, that way we can get it started?
Get it started.
That way we could get it started.
I don't see any reason why not.
I mean, I'll make a motion for that.
second.
So we got a motion and a second. All in favor on switching to moving court?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, guys.
There were some cost savings in there too, I don't think we talked about, but
There will be.
I meant publicly.
Okay. All right.
That'll work for you?
That's great.
Thank you
Yeah.
for coming.
I think you've done something that you'll look back on, the city will look back on next 10, 20 years that you were ahead of the curve. And that'll be a good thing.
That's why everybody's gonna do.
It is.
Well, the state court system they don't want any more municipal courts. So it's going that way. And now's the perfect time for us to make that.
And in Kennett's case, you don't have any, normally the people object to it because you lose local control, your police officer's gotta travel to the county seat, you got, well, that's not an issue here. And you have you have a locally elected judge. Now it'll be John Spielman, but whoever is in that seat throughout time, so you got basically the same type of thing. You're not giving up anything. I think you're making a wise choice of use of city revenue in tight times. So I commend you for making that decision.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You sound better than you did on the phone.
Well, I feel that. Thank you. And you look good, by the way.
All right, street.
Mayor, council members, we don't have a whole lot on here. A little bit more about the building. With the help of City Light and Water, we cleaned some of the trees up on the property where we're gonna build the building, got it ready to go. We've got the chat basin ready for them whenever they get ready to start. We got our excavator in, we tried it out, it worked real good. We're waiting on the counterweight right now to put on there. Since we're gonna be out over the ditch, we kinda want to put a little extra weight on the back to make sure we don't end up in the ditch.
Good idea, good idea.
The grant for the compost tractor was turned in, or will be turned in on the 8th. No, actually, she turned it in today. I talked to her, she turned it in today. I'll be in Dexter the 15th to discuss it with them and hopefully find out whether or not we'll get it. And the way she is talking, she thinks we got a real good chance of getting it.
That'd be good.
The compress, I guess, has been vacated. We noticed the dumpster was gone from out there, so we put a lock on the gate. If anybody else needs in there, Tyler has a key, I have a key, Gerald has a key, and Tyler is gonna get keys made for whoever else might need to be in there. But for now, it is sorta locked up. I think you said somebody went around one of the gates. We're gonna have to stretch a cable around one of the gates. Somebody's going around it, but other than that, it's pretty locked up, sorta locked up. I guess at one of the cons. That's all we have right now. After we have a couple of committee meetings, we'll have more for y'all as far as what ending the year up with totals for stormwater, transportation, street department, and so on. We've got a lot we're working on right now, getting together, and we didn't quite have it all. So by the time we have the committee meetings and stuff, next council meeting, we'll have a little bit more for y'all. If y'all don't have anything, any questions, that's all we've got.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, I don't believe we have any unfinished business. New business. In your package, you had a proposal for outdoor sign change to 200 square feet.
This is an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance. The first reading, an ordinance amending section 400.310.8.9 of the zoning ordinance of the city of Kennett to change the maximum size of an outdoor advertising sign or structure in B2 general business zone from 100 square feet to 200 square feet.
Motion.
Have a second?
Sorry.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Second reading, an ordinance amending section 400.310.8.9 of the zoning ordinance of the city of Kennett to change the maximum size of an outdoor advertising sign or structure in B2 general business zone from 100 square feet to 200 square feet.
Motion.
Sorry.
Motion and a second. Roll call. Mr. Freeman?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
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 Motion passes. All right. Next in your packet, which doesn't have to be approved, but see where CLGW has a rate comparison chart. Two of the incidents on commercial and light industrial were cheaper than everybody else, residential. We got one city which is working on. But that's information that we've been getting and was put in your packet.
Is this before the rate increase or after?
It's supposed to be after the rate increase.
When was the last rate increase? And we had one a year ago?
Not too long ago.
What's
So we had one not too long ago?
3 years.
Wasn't very long ago.
It wasn't last
That's what I was thinking.
It hasn't been very long.
Yeah, I was thinking last every couple of years.
Last year and a
Yeah,
half.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, they didn't have one last year.
All righty, C, we've already done, and then approval of the ordinance for purchasing the property on the south side of CLGW. There was an explanation letter that was also sent out for what they were doing for a solar project in the near future. So we have an ordinance for that.
First reading is an ordinance authorizing the city of Kennett, Missouri, acting by and through the Kennett Board of Public Works to purchase property located on the south bypass in the city As you can see in the ordinance and I believe in the explanation letter, the price is $100,000.
Motion.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm opposed.
Second reading, an ordinance authorizing the city of Kennett, Missouri, acting by and through the Kennett Board of Public Works to purchase property located on the south bypass in the city.
Motion.
All right, roll call
Discussion?
for discussion.
Yeah.
Why is this property being purchased when the city owns several vacant lots, vacant properties?
Size, maybe.
Well, they've got a whole lot of acres at the current, behind the humane facility. There's quite a large area there. They could put 10 of these out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the other thing is, that's a prime location for a good business.
For a good
to go in.
business, you know, this is $14,705 per acre.
Not exactly fair market value.
That doesn't seem to be to me. I'm not a big per acre guy except in farmland, and I know that, you know, is different than
It is a lot.
urban areas.
Is it farmland or just?
Use farmland now.
Farmland right now.
How's your zone?
It's there between the ditch and
Zone.
Kelly Electric.
Is it
Flip it up
B2?
against the
I'm
street.
guessing I-1.
Well, beside us, against that.
You know, in light of the idea that COTW has just raised the rates, I know the street lights look pretty and this would be a nice thing and all that, but I don't see how that we can be good stewards of for the citizens of this town if we just let them buy whatever the heck they want to. They've been buying property left and right. Now they're wanting to buy this one. This one's a whole lot more money than other properties they've bought, and I understand the other properties they bought are for possible expansion around their facility on Anthony Street. That's kind of okay, not terribly in my mind, but it's something that the council has approved in the past, but I can't support this at all. You know, especially when we've got property out at the industrial park. There's a small triangle back there that would be great for something like this. You have to run less lines to do it.
On that particular property, there's going to be another contemplated use for that, the triangle.
Okay, well, the
Not
council,
by the industrial park.
the council's not aware of that then, so.
It hadn't got to fruition yet, but there's another very valid
You know,
use for that.
that reinforces my idea that someone from COGW should be at our meetings to inform us of such things, even if it needs to be in a closed session, so that we would know that. But anyway, you know, they've got property out by the airport.
I don't think it wants reflective, but I definitely, I don't know, how many acres are behind the dog pound?
Is it the location that it's
30, 40?
to run wires and do what they do to hook to their facility there on Anthony Street?
That's just it, we don't know.
That's what I was gonna ask. What's,
That's what I was thinking.
What
Well, I mean,
made
it's gotta
them
be
choose that
related to the
location?
solar panels. I mean, they gotta feed that solar energy back to something.
Yeah, we gotta put it back to the grid, so what we can do.
I mean, that's what I was going with. That's what my assumption.
You could table this second vote, and at the next meeting, we could have CLGW here to
Yeah.
explain their process.
That would be a good
I
idea.
think that'd be great.
Okay, so can I have a motion to table this?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll table this to the next one, and we'll have someone here at the next meeting. All right. Mayor's report. We've already discussed the city court. I think the council's taking a really good step in the right direction. And we're talking with Ms. Brenda here that on a information page that she's on quite a bit with other city clerks. There's a lot of cities that are heading in that same direction, so we've taken a good step forward. I get asked quite a bit about hospital. You know, what's going on with it and everything else. I can say I've had 2 meetings today about it, had 1 meeting Saturday, and I'm very optimistic and very excited about the number of companies that are calling and asking questions, the number of companies and groups that are wanting to have meetings. I'm excited about the opportunity for what's coming in the future. So that it's, nothing's on paper, anything could be pulled out from underneath of us at any time. But whenever we have several different groups that are looking for it, that's more than we've had in the past. And it's a very exciting opportunity for Kennedy at this point in time. For all those, what's the sign-off date on elections? 21st. Okay. January 21st is right around the corner. We will have another city council meeting between now and then, but for any of those out there, you know, there's a seat in each ward that's going to be voted on. If you would like to run for a city seat, now's the time to apply, and whether you want to get your feet wet a little bit or a lot, whatever you're looking for, the election time is open. Instead of, you know, if you've got ideas and things that you want to bring forth and work with, we're more than happy that the elections are open. And so you have till the 21st to sign up to be on the ballot. On a personal note, I'd like to thank everybody for, at the last city council meeting, about this time I was in recovery. For those that don't know, on December 17th I had the gastric sleeve done. So hopefully in the near future you'll be seeing a lot less of me. To date, you know, I'm down 49 pounds from pre-op to today. But it's not a quick fix, but it's another tool in my belt. I've dealt with weight issues my entire life, and I took a trip to Mexico and had it done with a doctor that even Newsweek magazine did a full write-up on it. And that helped make my decision very well with picking somebody that, you know, a U.S. publication took on. So I appreciate the time off and healing, and I've you know, went back into my chiropractic office yesterday. I've had little to no complications. The biggest thing is, you know, can I eat this or can I eat that, and how much? So 3 to 4 ounces at a time. And most time whenever you see me, I've probably got a drink near me somewhere. But besides that, I appreciate the ability to go and be away at that time. All right. Public comments. Uh-huh.
Taking notes. Okay. Is she coming?
Stay here.
My name's Shirley Sando, and this is Judy Condor, and we are here to discuss a TNR program. And we have a group, well, we've sort of been doing some things on our own, but we officially did start a group a few weeks ago called Kennett Wagging Tails. We have a Facebook page if you'd like to look at some of the puppies and things. One of them's in my house that we've found and rescued and so forth in Kennett. This lady's done an amazing job for years. And these would all be puppies we have running around town and populating. And the last ones we got, one of them was in my house, but there were 3 females and 2 males. They're all in foster homes to be adopted out, other than the one I kept and the one Judy kept. So we fell in love with those 2. I'd like to have kept them all, but they're adorable. Anyway, you can look at our Facebook page. It says Wagging Tails, and I found out there's a lot of Wagging Tails, and I'm trying to change it to Kennett Wagging Tails, but Facebook's not cooperating. And eventually I'll get that done or start it.
You may have to start.
You find it? Good.
Yeah.
Is that ours with our puppies?
Got your face on it.
Yep.
Got my face on it. It says.
TNR stands for trap.
Awesome. That's my little Lucy on there too. Yeah, we're going to explain that in just a minute. Lucy is one of the pups. Actually, I found her kind of by accident. I was at the beauty shop and she was running around with her stray mama, and I didn't know anything about it. But the mother left after the puppy. We got it. I got it. We actually ran in the beauty shop and got it. But it was kind of weird, and I tried to chase the mother down for 2 hours and never could find her. I knew the direction, so I ended up taking her home. Then I found out, I drove by and there's 4 more pups out there with moms. It was like, okay. It took weeks and weeks and weeks, hours on end, We spent from 6 to 9 o'clock many nights over there watching these pups, getting their habits. Mama kept them put up really well in the daytime.
Good mama.
Yeah, she's a good mother, but anyway, and we're still feeding her and taking care of her best we can. But we're here to talk about the TNR program, and which is trap, neuter, release, and Kay brought it up, and there is a cat population problem that we are here to help. We have, I'm going to let Judy talk about it, but we have started a little bit of work. Obviously, we need grant money, we need time with what the city's doing. We can't do this all ourselves, we don't have that much money. So we need a lot of help doing it. But we are willing to help track some of these cats and see where we can go. But Judy, go ahead.
What trap, neuter, and return? That's not just trap, neuter, and release. It's trap, neuter, and return. What that is all about is you trap these cats, whether they're stray or they're feral. Right now we're targeting the cats that are already being taken care of. They're strays, but we have some good people with Kenneth that are already come on board. They're taking care of them. We've created 12 cat shelters that we've put at different locations. That they're private locations, but and we're working with that. But trap, neuter, and return, what that is all about, you could trap them and you could neuter, or you could trap them and you could remove the cats from the location that they're at. But all you're doing, if you take them away, you relocate them, you euthanize them, all you're doing is creating a vacuum effect for other cats to move in. But once you create a community of sterile cats, and we've got areas here in Kennett that are just like big potholes. And once you create that sterile community with those cats, what they do, and people are already taking care of them, so that's why we're targeting the ones already being taken care of. We don't have to financially come alongside and do that. But what it does is it sterilizes those sterilized cats. Create a community where other cats don't come in. They literally protect the territorial, yes. They protect, and we do have. Kenneth has a problem. And we could sit here and stand here and talk about the problem that we got until we're red in the face, which I probably am, and do nothing about it, and the problem just keeps multiplying because one cat, fertile female cat, at 7 months old can produce a litter. And over 7 years, what did we say it was? Something like 2,905. One cat in 7 years, fertile cat, can herself. Now that's not talking about all the cats she produced that are doing the same thing.
What's the gestation period?
No, they can produce several.
They're real fast. Generally, they will have at least 3 litters a year. And of those litters, most of them are female cats. So what we're doing, what we're wanting to do, and we have started, we're doing it. I got 4 in my garage right now. I got 2 pregnant female, 1 male that needs to be neutered, and 1 female that needs to be spayed. But some of them can't be because they've got colds and we're treating them and we're vetting them out of our pockets. But what we want to do is we want to come alongside our good humane department here, they have really been good. We don't want to compete, we want to complete. And we want to make Kennett better for our animals here in Kennett. You make it better for the animals, you're going to make it better for the people. But it costs. And we can't do it by ourselves.
And there is grant money to help do this. There's grant money for TNR. You mentioned some kind of an agricultural grant for neuter spay.
Yeah, there was last year you were looking into, there was a Department of Agriculture has a spay and neuter grant. So there's different ones.
Yeah, and TNR has specific grants just for TNR programs.
But now the purpose of this is not to pull those cats and take them necessarily, rescue them, and adopt them out. Even though there will be some that will. We probably will. But not all. The purpose is to return them back to that area so they'll control that area. That area will be, and listen, this has been proven. I've been in contact for over a year with Mr. Chad Woodard. he was over Cats on Campus at ASU. And he implemented this TNR program there. He had to sell it to them, you know, the idea, no, we don't want to relocate, no, we don't want to euthanize them. We want to help control this pet population, and that's what you're doing. And over time, Terry, it will fix itself. Now, it's going to take time. Nothing happens overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. But you know what? We got our feet on the ground. We're not talking about it. You're looking at 3 people that are doing something about it right now.
Well, there's actually more. We got people feeding them. And also the kittens, we have places, just like with the puppies, that shelters, well, not really shelters, but they're places that take care of the animals. They foster home them until they're adopted. There's programs out there. We deal with them all over from Wisconsin to St. Louis to all over. We can put these kittens and puppies in places where they'll be taken care of. Adults are obviously much harder. If you got an adult cat or dog that's used to running around, you're not going to tame it very well. Dogs can be tamed a little easier than some.
But there are places for those too up north, like rehab places and things.
Well, and some of them just have to live their life out. But if they're neutered and spayed, then you still eliminate the problem.
You're
And that's really what
eliminating,
you
that's
wanna
right.
do.
You're
We got
eliminating
people
that
that feed them.
overpopulation.
You know, they're okay. And we
What's
got
it
shelter
cost
for
to get
them.
one neutered or spayed or,
But we're looking at some low-cost grants, so that's going to help.
what is the cost? Like,
It depends on what vet you go to.
Yeah.
I talked to, of course, I know that you can't use grant money if you got grant money in Missouri and go to Arkansas. But right now, I talked to Northeast Arkansas Humane Society there, and right now, I can call and make an appointment to get the male neutered for $60 for him. The female 70 if they're not pregnant. But you know what? I'm all about life. I'm not going to take babies. Those babies will be born right there in a wonderful place that I have for them. Then I've already talked to Rescue about taking them.
They'll take the
So
kids.
see, our feet are on the ground. And we love those cats, don't we, Kay? We do. We've raised them we've raised puppies. I've raised puppies from 3 days old. Get up and bottle feed. They're just like a human to get up and bottle feed. You burp them, you love them, you do all of the things that you do for human babies. Except you don't change diapers. You do have to scoop it, clean up, have a lot of wipes. But they're awesome. They're awesome. If you don't have a pet like that in your life, you do not know what you're missing. You
Well,
are
Larry and
not.
I at our age are raising another baby. It's just like another baby.
So this really sounds like with Kay, for whenever you're already talking about having a meeting, you can contact them, contact Chad Woodard to explain the program more, and then bring this back to the council to see what we need to do.
Okay.
Get the ball rolling in the direction and see if it's feasible.
Hey, we're ready. We're tracking already. My husband told me the other day, he said, I wish I'd had my camera and a video. Because here I come with one in my hand like this and trying to get it in the carrier. It's not real easy if you let the feet touch the ground. Don't let the feet touch the ground if you're ready, just let that shut. But they've come a long way, and we thank you for listening to us.
thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
All right. Any other public comments? And I believe we need to have a closed session.
We need to have one for sure. Please,
Yeah.
a quick one too.
All right.
No.
All right, we need a motion to go into closed session.
Motion.
All right. Meeting's adjourned. Closed session, 5 minutes.